What's up, everyone? Welcome back to yet another postseason recap. Braves fans are about ready to throw hands with their shortstop because he was hugging an opponent after that opponent just hit an RBI double. You can't be caught doing that in the playoffs. I'm sorry. Both the Astros and the Brewers are on the verge of being eliminated, but only one of those teams will make it out alive. Bobby Witt Jr., he legged out one of the fastest singles you will ever see, but wasn't enough to overcome the Cedric Mullins home run and the Baltimore bullpen. And the Miami Marlins, yes, they're in today's recap despite not being in the playoffs. We have some big news about their entire staff. Like, everyone involved pretty much just got let go. So again, we'll talk about all of that and more in today's recap. And just a reminder, recap is brought to you by SeatGeek. Use code Fuzzy to save 20 bucks off all of your tickets. And if you've never tried out Underdog Fantasy, when you download, make sure to use my code Fuzzy because they'll match your first deposit up to $1,000 in bonus cash. They'll give you free pick'ems. There's promos all October long. Don't miss out. Have some fun. It is win or go home time for the October Astros. They have been in the ALCS every single season since 2017, so it's going to be weird to see them not even make it past the wild card series. Hunter Brown, he was as locked in as he's ever been. He got through 5 scoreless on a strikeout of Jake Rogers. He's skipping off the mound. He's really feeling himself until Peter Parker Meadows demolished a pitch off the foul pole. Finally, someone scored. There was a watch party in Comerica. I thought that was a lot of fun to see the reactions. Then Holton, Hannafy, Herder, Brisky, they all combined for almost 7 scoreless. That's what the Tigers do best. They don't even need a full starting pitcher to win ball games. Then they deployed the rookie Jackson Jobe, and the wheels kind of fell off. However, despite allowing a ton of traffic, his defense didn't really help him. Torkelson, yeah, he stopped it, but then he bounced it like he's Chris Paul or something like that. Jake Rogers, he couldn't snag it, so a run scores. Altuve, he lofted a pitch to shallow right. It's still foul territory. Vierling caught it and then double clutched. Not saying that Jackson Jobe was perfect, but we have rare back-to-back miscues from the Tigers defense, who is usually pretty sure-handed. I think that Vierling gets him if he didn't double clutch. Oh my. The Astros, they stole all the momentum and then gave it away on a wild pitch. That is the first blown save of Ryan Presley's postseason career. He has been ice-cold nails over the course of these last few years. Like, honestly, one of the best postseason relievers we've ever seen. Here comes Hader, who does not have the best track record in the wild card dating back to his days with the Brewers. Torkelson got walked. It's now loaded for the pincher, Andy Ibanez, who destroys Cleveland, by the way. So him being the guy to send his team to face Cleveland is not a fun sentence at all. Everyone scored. Andy Ibanez, he clutches up, and Will Vest, he converts the save as the Tigers sweep. That's the first time since 2016 that the Astros didn't even make the championship series. The Tigers are 20 games over 500 over their last 46 games. That's easily the best mark in baseball. And again, they're facing the Guardians now. Talking about the Astros and what their future looks like, their biggest injuries, Christian Javier, Lance McCullers, Jose Urquidy, Justin Verlander, even Yordan's knee was banged up. And then in terms of free agents, Alex Bregman is a free agent, Justin Verlander, Yusei Kikuchi, we have Jason Hayward, Hector Neris. What do you have as a prediction for the Astros going into 2025? Are they going to go with Shea Whitcomb at third base and let Bregman walk? Altuve is already cheerleading for them to bring back Bregman, and in my opinion, he deserves to come back and try and get back to the championship series as a paid man. He's really earned it, despite the fact that, yeah, 2017 happened. He was a beneficiary of the trash cans, but since that point, he's got a 130 OPS plus. He rakes with or without trash cans. I want to make sure I say that out loud. All right, on to game number 2 from yesterday. Sort of a similar game to the last one that we saw. It was kind of a snoozer through the first half-ish of this game. This was the only run that either team scored early on. Vinny Pasquantino, by the way, he fractured his thumb last month. He's only using 4 fingers. It looks like his entire hand is wrapped up. He's still not fully healed, but he's out there. Ramon Urias, this is trouble. MJ, he's not too fleet of foot defensively, but he tracks it down. That wall in left field giveth and taketh away, because that is a home run in 27 of 30 ballparks. Michael Massey, another beauty of a play on defense. The Web Gems are saving Seth Lugo big time. He got through 4 scoreless. Talking about Seth Lugo, Eflin and the Baltimore staff, they were actually pretty good, and look who tied it. Cedric Mullins, he was hitless last year in the playoffs. He was 0 for 12. He has 3 base hits already in this series. That home run completely resets the score, and this next clip was crazy. Bases loaded for the Orioles, 1 out, Kowser's at the dish, and he just punched a ball on a check swing. It was 2 strikes, so because he swung, he is now out, and Adley, he's going to get his chance, but just an absolute brutal second half for Adley Rutschman. The inning is over, and so was the rally. Bobby, he made the throw, then he maybe legged out the fastest infield I've ever seen, 31.3 feet per second. Hello? I mean, he was blazing down the line. That is a huge go-ahead run as Lucas Erceg. He's probably been the biggest trade piece for anyone, at least in my opinion, aside from Jazz Chisholm, because of how locked down he's been. It's not James McArthur out there. It's Lucas Urseg. And with that win, the Royals hand the Baltimore Orioles back-to-back sweeps in the playoffs. Baltimore was held to 1 run combined over 2 games. They've now lost 10 playoff games in a row. The Royals, they showed how quickly you can turn around a ball club when you not only make trades, aka Cole Reagans, when you develop prospects, Vinny Pasquantino, Bobby Witt Jr., but then when you spend money on top of that. Imagine if the Rays and the Guardians followed suit and they not only made trades, developed prospects, but they spent $150 million. Good for the Royals. Even though I'm a Guardians fan, I have to tip my cap. So in regards to the Orioles, they were absolutely decimated by health updates. Kyle Bradish, Grayson Rodriguez, Felix Bautista dating back to last year, John Means, and John Means is also a free agent. Other free agents, Corbin Burns and Anthony Santander. So the Orioles going into 2025 could be a completely different team just because they're getting healthy, but also some of their biggest pieces, Burns and Santander, they could be moving on because they both had monster 2024s. But who knows? Maybe the team that just swept them is going to motivate them to spend some money. Please, Baltimore, spend money. I was on the edge of my seat for basically the entirety of this next game, and the Brewers, they need this W or it's all over. And by the way, they've lost 6 consecutive postseason games in a row. Frankie Montas, he let a few Mets get on for Brandon Nimmo, and it's quickly 1-0 Mets. If you're not looking, please look at this. Willie, he stopped the Pete grounder, but he doesn't have time to... Where's Pete? He threw his bat in front of him. Then he stepped on it and tripped. That cost them a run. He most likely beats it out for an RBI fielder's choice. So instead of it being 2-1, it's now 1-1 because Jackson Chourio just became the youngest player in MLB history to hit a leadoff home run. He beats Ronald, who was 22 at the time of his leadoff home run. Now the Mets did storm back. They're back up by 1. Alvarez, he singled to center field, and Lindor, he socked an RBI sac fly to score Tyrone Taylor. Blake Perkins, he wants extra base hits, but he does have to settle for an RBI sac fly, so they trade RBI outs. It's 3-2 Mets. The Brewers, they're in big time trouble again. So the Brewers walk Francisco Lindor. The bases are juiced for Jose Iglesias, who has been an absolute game changer for the Mets, but that's an insane pitch. A sinker from hell out the hand of Payamps, who was pumped up. The fans are pumped up as well. We head to the 8th. Phil Maton, more like Phil Maytoff. Jackson tattooed the cutter, his second Oppo taco of the game. You guys are going to have to fact check me on this one, but according to what I've seen, he just became the first Brewers player ever with a multi-home run game in the playoffs. He's only 20 years old. Willie Adames then pulled a pitch for a single, and Garrett Mitchell talking about pulling pitches. I thought this was going to be a double off the wall. It left. Garrett, he's fired up. He's one of my favorite players to watch in baseball. I've been talking about him for the last few weeks, that even though they lost out on Yelich, Mitchell has been playing like an absolute star. Devin Williams, he ends it. They call him the airbender. He forces a Game 3 Jose Quintana versus Tobias Myers later today. Who do you got? Mets or Brewers? The Juan Soto trade is the gift that keeps on giving. Kyle Higashioka, back-to-back games. I think it's back-to-back at-bats that he went yard. He turns around a fastball for a home run. Arise and Nando, they clutched up with base hits after that, so I think that's 3 base hits in a row. Nando, he showed off the sprinter speed. I'm so happy that his leg is finally fixed. Profar, make it 4 base hits in a row. 5 base hits in a row. Manny Machado laced a double down the line that sent Petco into a full frenzy. San Diego is a flat-out baseball city. They love that team. Manny, he's on second base, and Orlando Arcia just gave the guy who hit a 2-run double off of Max Fried a hug. Braves fans were like, get this man off the team. He should not be coming back. I think that Arcia is a free agent, so we'll talk about that in a second. Maybe he's not. I can't remember. Jackson Merrill makes it 6 hits in a row off of Max Fried. Another RBI double for the Padres. They smacked around Max for 5 runs on 8 base hits, and he had to leave after getting hit by a Nando comebacker. He was pretty emotional after the game because it's probably his final game as a Brave. Musgrove had to leave early as well with elbow soreness. He's been dealing with that all year long. I'm just praying that he's going to be okay. Soler, do the Braves have another comeback in them? It's 5-2. 5-4 now. Michael Harris II has been the second coming of Ken Griffey Jr. the last month. It is not easy to go yard off of Jason Adam. He's a triple away from the cycle, but unfortunately, the Padres do come away after a final scary out, and Higgy and Donnie Barrels, they collided, but the catch is made. That is the 3rd sweep of the day, so the Padres are moving on to face the Dodgers. I am going to game number 1, Ohtani's debut in LA versus the Padres. I cannot wait. Make sure you guys subscribe for that, but in terms of the Braves, they lost out on Spencer Strider, Ronald, Austin Riley, just to name a few superstars. Their biggest free agents, Max Fried, Charlie Morton, Gio Urshela. You have AJ Minter, Tyler Matzik. So the 2025 Braves, a lot like the Orioles, are going to look a whole lot different, but that's because they're getting healthier, and also they might be moving on from a few players. I don't want to take up too much more of your time, guys, but the final story of the day, the Marlins, they just let go of their entire coaching staff. Like, I'm talking from the manager. I mean, Skip Shoemaker did leave on his own accord a few days ago, but they just let go of their entire training staff. They let go of all of their clubhouse attendants. So let me know, do you think that the Marlins can pull a Kansas City Royals in 2025 and build up that farm system, sign some pieces, get healthy? Do you think that they can turn around from being a 100-loss club? I think they lost 100 games, just like the Royals did last year. Then they make the playoffs the following year. And instead of it being a full-blown 5-year rebuild, maybe it's going to be a retooling. What do you guys make of that? You guys know the drill. To end every recap in the postseason, we're going to guess the batter as well as guess the pitcher. I'm going to start with the batter first because I feel like I know who the pitcher is. I don't want to spoil it just yet. I've seen this guy. We've faced enough Royals where this is either Kyle Isbell or this is Michael Massey. I feel like this is actually pretty... Wait, is that Isbell? No, wait, I don't want to get this one wrong. I'm pretty sure it is Isbell or... I'm going to go Massey because I feel like if it's not Massey, then it has to be... Okay, there we go. It doesn't... We got on the first try. I'm so proud of myself lately. I'm doing really good. And this one should be easy just because I saw him and we all saw him just a few days ago. It is Spencer Schwellenbach. I can kind of figure it out not only by his delivery, but there's his little hair. He's got some curly locks. There it is. Spencer Schwellenbach. 2 for 2. Pretty impressed. Well, everyone, that does it for today's recap. Thank you all so much for watching. And a quick reminder, don't forget to subscribe because I'll be at Ohtani's playoff debut against the Padres with Cougs 46, and he's going to be wearing his Angels gear, so it's going to be a lot of fun. He might get trolled a little bit. But yeah, that does it. Make sure you guys subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Be safe.